Hello, 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 ladies. Welcome back to another live episode of the Create and Grow Your Dream Business podcast. Y'all, I am super excited for today's talk. Now, here's the thing. Whether you are listening to this message today or whether you are listening to this message sometime inside the future, this message is going to be evergreen, right? So you want to make sure you share this message with a friend, make sure you send this to your business bestie, and make sure you just know that this is a message that you always want to come back and listen to at any different season that you're in. So, as you've seen from the title, right? Today's episode is titled, What Confidence Season Are You In? So, technically, today is November the 1st, and I still do, love this season of the year because in the United States, where I'm originally from, this is normally the time where the leaves are falling and the times are changing, and you can feel the temperature changing. It tends to get a little more cooler, and it's the time for like the sweaters and the tights and the boots. And I just love fall time. It's my favorite time to fall in love, to be in love with myself, with my business, everything that I'm doing. But today we are going to be diving in to the different confidence seasons, right? And as we talk about seasons today, right? Again, if you're stationed in the United States, then you understand the concept of summer, winter, spring, and fall. But here's a fun fact. Here's the revelation, the transformation, right? The shift that has been happening for me, and I would love to share this shift with you as well, is that ever since I moved to Belize, right? It's been about 2 months now. Belize does not have summer, winter, spring, and fall, right? They really only have spring and summer in a sense, and they really don't even really acknowledge those two times of the year. It's just you recognize that the temperature during this time of the year, again, November, our highs are like high 85 and our lows are like high 60s, right? And here's what I've been thinking about the revelation that I've been going through is that oftentimes we get caught up in operating our lives simply off of the seasons that we're accustomed to. Again, if you're in the United States, then you're accustomed to summer, winter, spring, and fall. But what if you never had a fall in your life, right? What if you never knew about that cool, cozy season or that winter season where it's snow time? And one interesting thing, if you've been, here with the Create and Grow Your Dream Business for a while, or if you're just meeting me, Breye'l, then one thing you will know or learn is that I love tying the seasons in, like the actual like farming, growing seasons in, with the concept of you creating and growing your dream business. Because here's the reality: the same way um fruits and vegetables, the same way they go through seasons, is the same way that you're going to go through different seasons inside of your business. It's not always going to be sunny in springtime, right? It's not always going to be rainy outside. It's not always going to be hot. It's not always going to be cold. You're going to go through different seasons inside of your life. So just like the seasons of the outside and just like the seasons of gardening, your business has seasons. In particular, your confidence has seasons. All right. So, what we're talking about today is you being able to gain clarity about which season are you in your life, in your business. What is your confidence looking like right now? How are you making the decision to show up? Right. So, I've been reading this book called I think The Seasons of Life by Jim Rohn. But reading the book has been so like revolutionary for me as well, because I've realized, hey, I'm going through these things too. So I know you're probably going through them as well. So let's get a understanding of the different seasons. Okay. So knowing which season of confidence that you are in is really going to take you being willing to take some personal inventory about how you feel right now. Right. See, the funny thing about the fall and the winter time in the United States is that you have a tendency to chill out, a tendency to go on break, a tendency to pause and say, well, next year will be my year. I'll pick it back up in January. But here's the thing that I want you to know is the reason why you're on pause is because you feel like you're in a cold season, right? You feel like you're in your chilly season. You know, when it's cold outside, you don't want to do nothing but go inside the house, snuggle up, get your little blanket, right? Some hot chocolate, maybe some coffee or something. And you feel like, once it gets warm outside, I'll start back working, right? I'll start back working once I feel good. I'll start back working next year. I'll start back feeling confident in my business once I get that new website. I'll start back putting work inside of my business once I have my baby. I'll start back putting work inside of my business once I start making more money. You know, all of the excuses, which is basically, again, you waiting to feel warm, you waiting to feel good, right? But here's the reality. You have to recognize that that is just a season. So let's break down the 4 seasons that we're going to be talking about: spring, summer, fall, and winter, right? So I actually want to start from the concept of winter, right? Here's a sign that you are in your winter confidence season. Okay. And if you're tuning into this message, no matter where you're tuning into it at, I would love for you to leave me a comment and let me know which season are you in as we flow through the conversation of the different seasons. Okay, so let's start off with season number 1, your winter season, right? You know you are in your winter season when you are in a space of pause. Good, right? You know you are in your winter season when you are in a space where you are saying, okay, I'll just wait until then. This is a sure sign that your confidence is low. This is a sure sign that your confidence is low. Because here's one thing I've learned as I've coached many women, and even as I develop myself as a woman who is creating and growing my dream business, as I help other women do. Here's the reality: even when you are in your winter time, there is still work to be done, right? Let's go back to the analogy again of winter if you are a farmer or are a gardener, right? So if you're in the United States, and almost anywhere in the United States, honestly, but let's say northern winter time to be exact, right? Back in the agricultural times when it was winter time, it was snow on the ground. So you couldn't plant any new seeds, right? Normally, when it's winter time, you are in a space of feeling like, I'll just show up later. I'll just perform later. There are no new nuggets for me to put out there. I'm not really in the mood to pour more energy into my business. This is a sure sign that you are in your winter time. But here's what I've learned. And so this is what I want to share with you. Even when you are in your winter time, and let's say you don't feel like showing up live, you don't feel like pushing sales inside of your business, you don't feel like connecting and collaborating, wintertime is the time for you to start working on yourself personally. Wintertime for you is the time to start reading books, right? To start learning more, to start developing yourself more, to start to figure out, again, ways that you can show up more confidently. Because here's the reality: right after winter, right after the times where you just don't feel like it, right after the times where it's done snowing, because here's the thing too, sometimes winter times are in your control, and other time winters are not inside of your control, right? Sometimes winters don't even literally look like it's cold outside. Sometimes a winter for you can happen smack dab in the middle of June, where maybe you just go through a depression state, maybe you lose a loved one, maybe your relationship is broken, maybe your children start to act up, right? Any of these can show up as a winter inside of your life. But here's the thing: trouble don't last always, right? The sun will always shine the next day. And so you're going to have to start to ask yourself, are you willing to be the type of woman that can pull herself out of the muck? Are you going to be willing to be that type of woman who can show up for herself even in the midst of adversity, right? Because here's the thing about life: life will just let you sit there. Life will just tell you, it's okay, girl. Don't even worry about it. We could just go to sleep every single day, hon. Okay. Life will tell you, don't even worry about it. But here's the thing about life as well. Spring gonna always come next. Spring will always come after winter, right? You don't even have to figure that part out on your own. Spring always comes after winter. I've been alive now for 30 years. I've never went into a winter and then went straight into a summer. Now, do sometimes the springtimes feel like summertime? Yes, they do. But again, spring will always come after winter. So if you are in your winter confidence season where you're just feeling kind of low and blow, I want you to put winter in the comment section, okay? Next season that we're going to talk about is the spring season, right? I would love to know, are you in your spring time? Are you in your spring season, right? So let's talk about what spring could look like. So let me get my computer charger. So spring looks like the perfect time for you to be rejuvenated. Does anybody else love the springtime? If springtime is your favorite time of the year, but let me know. Let me know what's your favorite time of the year, okay? Just in general, not confidence season, but in general. If springtime is your favorite time of the year, do you already just let me know in the comment section spring, right? And springtime, especially in your business and for your confidence, is the time that you should start to take. Let me plug the computer in one moment. Springtime is the time that you should start to take action, right? Have you ever been in a space where you go and visit a place for spring and it is beautiful? I'm talking flowers blooming, birds chirping, butterflies flying. You think that just happened overnight? Do you think that those plants just could be scared and say, "No, I'm still in my winter time"? Meanwhile, the sun is like, it's hot outside. It's time for us to put in that time. It's time for us to put in that work, right? But I want you to know and remember that springtime, great opportunities will always come inside of your life. It's just about whether or not you are willing to pick yourself up and rejuvenate yourself. Hey, Ashley, it's so nice to see you, or technically read your name. But springtimes will always come inside of your life. So you have to ask yourself, are you in a spring season? Are you in that season of your life where you're ready to pick yourself up? You're ready to not be fearful. You're ready to let go of the excuses. Because here's the part again, life will want you to stay in your winter season. See, that's the beautiful part about life. That's the beautiful part about how we're living. You ultimately make the decision. Nobody's going to force you to show up as the woman on that next level, right? Because if you want to, you can continue to show up in the old way, like you're still going through your winter season. But the spring is going to spring regardless, right? The grass comes up, the flowers bloom, the butterflies butterfly, the ladybugs ladybug, even when they're scared, right? Imagine if all the flowers just made the decision in March and April and been like, nah, we too scared to bust through the ground. We're not even gonna bring no flowers this year. We scared that maybe a flood will come. We're scared that maybe the sun will be too hot. We're scared that maybe as soon as we bloom, somebody's gonna pick us, or for a bug, somebody's gonna squish us. The animals don't have that right. They have to do their job regardless, right? Because we're all inside of this ecosystem. So it's the same thing for you. Are you inside of a spring season inside of your life where you're ready to take action? Are you ready to let go of wintertime and recognize that for every day you continue to show up like you're in your wintertime, that your spring opportunity is waiting for you? That there are omnipotent opportunities for you to develop yourself, for you to become better? Because here's one of the other things that I read inside of this book that I was reading is that the worst thing you want to do is be so caught up in your past fears, in your past excuses, in your past losses. Well, oh man, I was supposed to do more lives last month, but I didn't. Oh man, I was supposed to sell more products last month, but I didn't. Oh man, I was supposed to do this last month, but I didn't. Oh man, I was supposed to do this in 2023, but I didn't. The last thing you want to do is be inside of a space where you are trying to relive the past, because again, the spring opportunities are going to spring right past you, and you don't want that. You want to be able to spring into new ideas, but the only way you can think new thoughts is if you drop the old thoughts, right? So if you know you're in the spring season inside of your business and your confidence level is feeling like spring, you're in a season right now where it's like, yes honey, I'm springing into new ideas, put spring in the comment section. The third season that you could be in is fall. Woo, fall. Now, the fall time is different. The fall, I'm sorry, not fall, summer. Summer. I'm a summer baby. I was ready to go to fall. Fall, we was about to wrap it up, but I was ready to go to fall. But let's bring it back. Summertime. I'm a summer baby. June. It's hot. We talking real hot. We talk about hot. Do you know what I'm saying? I was about to start rapping. We talking real hot. But here's what I want you to know. Summertime is different. Summertime is the time to pop your Summertime is the time for you to show up confidently. Summertime is when the girls ready to come out with the Daisy Dukes and the crop tops. Summertime is the time for the people to shine who has been working on their confidence personally and professionally. Summertime is the time for the girls to pop out who know that they've been working on their summertime body all fall and winter time, even inside the spring, right? Because confidence, again, as we always talk about, confidence is not only professionally. How you feel a lot of the time professionally ultimately boils down to how you feel personally. That's again what we're talking about right now, is the personal transformation that it's going to take for you to be inside of a space where you recognize you can make this shift, right? But you're only going to know about the next shift if you can recognize the season that you're in right now. So let's go a little bit deeper into summertime, right? So that summertime confidence season, again, if you're in the summertime, then you recognize that you planted some good seeds in the springtime. You recognize that you had seeds in the ground during the springtime, right? But summertime is going to heat up. And here's what that really means. That means that it's going to be very easy to get distracted if you're in your summer season. If you're in a season where you feel like you're feeling good, you feeling like you're ready to go to the next level, but maybe, just maybe, you feel those small distractions coming. Excuse me. Maybe, just maybe, you find yourself wanting to go have more fun than you actually want to put in the work. See, summertime is different from the springtime. Springtime, you popping it. Springtime, you willing to put down as many seeds as possible. Springtime means that you're willing to do what needs to be done. But summertime come in, it's easy to get tired. Summertime may look like you may be ready to give up, right? Summertime may look like you be like, dang, I've been on live doing all these lives and I'm still not getting the traction that I'm looking for, right? That can happen in your summertime, but you have to be willing to show up even in the midst of that, even in the midst of obstacles, even in the midst of you're not quite sure how things are going to go, even in the midst of you done all this work to get your workshop together, to sell this new product, to launch this new thing, to go for the promotion at your job, all of these things, you've done all of this work, right? And yet you still slightly feel discouraged, right? That's what summertime could look like for you. If you're in your summertime, put summertime in the comment section. But let me tell you one way that you can make it out of summertime successfully, right? Because I want you to know that summertime means that you are right here at the peak. You are right here. You're coming into your harvest. You are in the midst of great opportunities. The opportunities are swarming all around you. Now, don't get me wrong. Even when you're in the winter and even when you're in the fall, there's still ample time for opportunities, right, for you. Because again, when you're in the wintertime may look like you being in a space where you're in those lessons and you have to learn and you have to take some inventory of the person who you showed up as, but there's still an opportunity for you to develop yourself in the wintertime, right? Even in the springtime, when it's time for you to sow all those seeds and time for you to put that work in, when it's time for you to show that you've taken account of who you were, but that you have clarity on how it is that you want to start to show up confidently now. When you're in that spring season, there's still an opportunity for you to make the decision to not go to the back and go to the front, right? There's still the opportunity for you to start to show up as the leader this time instead of the student, right? So even in the springtime, there's still opportunity, but even in the summertime, those opportunities are brimming. They're like, woo, opportunities are up. That's still the opportunity for you to recognize to not give up, to not give up, okay? We all feel feelings of burnt out. We all feel feelings of exhaustion. We all feel feelings of imposter syndrome. We all feel these different feelings that come up inside of our business. We all feel them. But if you're in the summertime season in your mind and in your energy and in your confidence level, then you recognize that you can't let distractions, you can't let people and places and things and old thought processes hold you back from becoming more, hold you back from creating and growing your dream business, because again, you recognize that that's just a season. So if you're in the summertime, right, where you recognize that the opportunities are there for your business to grow and opportunities are there for you to start to show up more confidently, but you notice those little distractions, you notice, right, you putting in the energy, but then sometimes you get burnt out. If you notice that you're in that space, put summertime in the comment section. So the last season that we're going to be talking about, right, in this episode is going to be the fall. Now, the fall time is the time that, just like as you kind of know, if you stay in the United States, the fall time is a time for you to start to take personal inventory of the woman in which you are becoming, the woman in which you've shown up as all year, right? That fall time is the fall time for you to start to take personal inventory of how well did you show up? Did you actually put the work in? Did you actually sow those seeds, right? Did you actually show up live? Did you go on your YouTube channel? Did you ask people to work with you? Did you get into more collaborations? Did you get into more opportunities? How did you show up, right? That's the fall time, because here's the thing. The fall time comes, and that fall time is the time where either you put in the work and it shows, or either you put in the work and it didn't. Let's go back to the concept of farming, right? If a farmer went through the winter time, right, and the farmer got up even though it was snowing, and in that January, February, the farmer still started to till the land, and the farmer still started to show up for itself, and the farmer still pulled out those old weeds and got the land ready for the springtime, because that's a part that we're going to talk about too in another episode, is are you even ready for the opportunity, right? Are you even ready for the opportunity? Like, are you prepared? Are you prepared or are you unprepared, right? But let's say you're that farmer where the springtime came and you got those seeds out of the ground, summertime came and you protected those seeds. Inevitably, you're going to eat. You're going to have tomatoes and cucumbers and green peppers, or that's the farmer's perspective. Or maybe you're going to have clients and money and opportunities and sales. You're going to have all those things because you've put the work in. That's what you get in the fall time. You get the result of your labor. But here's the question. What happens if you're the farmer who never put the work in? What happens if you're the employee that never came to work on time and did their job? What happens if you're the employee who said that they wanted to get a raise, but they never took the time to develop themselves? What happens when you're that person? What happens when you're the businesswoman who said that she wanted to create and grow her dream business, but every time it was time for you to start to post about the business, you had excuses? You can't be surprised when the fall time comes and you have no harvest, because you had excuses. You can't have both. You can't have harvest and excuses, right? You can't have harvest and excuses. They don't go hand in hand. See, in another episode, we're going to talk about how many seeds are you willing to plant? How much time and energy are you ready to put in? really willing to put into create and grow your dream business? These are the questions that you have to start asking yourself. And these are the questions that I'm helping you dive more into. So, as we wrap up this podcast episode, I really want you to take into consideration which confidence season are you in? Are you in your winter time? Are you in your springtime? Are you in your summertime? Or are you in your fall time? And again, know that these seasons do not have to coincide directly with the seasons of the year, but that you see these different seasons in your business at different times, and that it's going to be your responsibility to ask yourself at the different times, what season are you in, so that you don't just get stuck in one season and that you can move forward into the next season. And know that this talk again is evergreen. And thank you so much for tuning into the Create and Grow Your Dream Business podcast. Share this with a friend, share this with your business bestie. And I would love to see you at the next Women Becoming More Challenge. Click the link below. That's where you can find the dates, the registration. And I would love, love, love to see you at our 3-day personal and professional confidence challenge. Until next time, ladies, I'll see you soon.